footage we can maybe send in later.
Well, maybe it'll be on Under Review. Yeah. MASL's most controversial show. Mostly because Phil Lavanco just says controversial things. I mean, that's all the controversies, Phil. Coming up with these wild takes. I think it's this or that. And then you've got the actual official there. He's like, no, maybe not. Ryan Cigich.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Under Review, the most controversial show in the Major Arena Soccer League. My name is Phil Lavanco. That is the head of officials for the MASL, Ryan Cigich. And a special thanks to our friend Craig Elston for the compliment. Ryan, do you think I'm the controversial one of the two of us?
Oh, without a doubt, Phil.
And we start the show with fireworks in San Diego, Sockers and Stars. These two teams cannot just play a normal game. A coming together at the bench, and once again, Ryan, the DRC has already ruled on this. So there's not much else we can opine on. They issued a 2-game suspension to Tavoy Morgan, which was then appealed by San Diego and thus rescinded.
Yeah, Phil, they have already ruled. The commissioner's already ruled. And, you know, we always hear a lot of things along the lines of the referees did this, they didn't do that, they lost control. I mean, everyone has an opinion about refereeing, which they're entitled to. But, you know, the game this past weekend, we saw 54 fouls whistled with 8 time penalties. And then even going back to the one in January, we had 40 fouls with 17 time penalties, 3 of which were red cards. So my point here is that I believe that at some point in time, the players, and that's plural, players meaning all of them, have to take responsibility for their actions and act like the professionals that they're supposed to be.
One more play from San Diego, and Mijatovic is involved again, this time, in my opinion, a pretty obvious pick play from Tacoma that leads to a disallowed goal. Ryan, what is your preferred decision?
Yeah, you can call it a pick, a screen, a obstruction, impeding is what we like to say now, whatever you want, but the goal was correctly disallowed. Before the ball is put in play there, Stefan runs into the space of the defensive wall and has impact and blocks the defender from defending. So correct call to call the goal back by Trimble.
To Baltimore we go, and we've got a clear-cut shootout, at least in my opinion. Mike Zierhofer, the Baltimore goalkeeper, takes out Frank Tayu. Zierhofer is the last offender, and I've got a shootout here. No other choices, Ryan, for this shootout decision, correct?
You are spot on, Phil. Mike comes out, he misses the ball, takes out Frank, stops the attacking play. Correct call for a blue card, 2-minute power play, and if you pause it there where the contact is, it is the absolute last offender, so it is a shootout.
Take that, Elston. Chihuahua in Harrisburg taking on the Heat, and they think they've scored their 6th of the game, only for a challenge flag to come out, and it looks to me like we're looking at a possible handball before the goal. Let's bring up that diagram, Ryan. Does the ball make contact with the arm or the shoulder?
Well, there's definitely contact there, but the key here for me is that the arm is into the player's body. He's not making himself bigger. It's not in an unnatural position. So even though there's contact, this is not a handball. You know, not a bad use of the challenge flag. It's under 5 minutes. You know, you can't take it home with you. So nothing wrong with throwing the flag there to take another look at it, but no handball on this.
Last play, Ryan, Tacoma and Empire. And did you know, Ryan, that it's WrestleMania week? And it looks to me like Tyler John is auditioning to be Cody Rhodes' tag team partner with an apparent shove on the Empire goalkeeper. John gets a blue plus a yellow, and the goalkeeper got a blue for his part. Now, Ryan, does this elevate to a red card, or should we just put John in the main event against The Rock?
Well, it's definitely close, Phil. Definitely would have been supported had there been a red. I mean, the goalkeeper there takes exception to something. I'm not sure exactly what, maybe that little kick out, but that to me just looks like normal play. And then he gets up and goes over on top of the Tacoma player and just taunts him. So, and then we have that retaliation, which, as you referenced, that definitely is borderline violent conduct. The referees there, Klemp and Salinas, who, by the way, are 2 of our better young and up-and-coming officials, determined that that's a 7-minute major blue plus yellow, and then they also give a blue card to the goalkeeper for the taunting. I would have actually preferred a yellow card, non-power play to the goalkeeper, as that contact up high there by Tyler John deserves a power play. So rather than have a 4v4, I would have preferred no blue card against the keeper.
And that's it for this week's episode. Ryan, we're heading towards the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Are the playoffs refereed differently than regular season games?
Ooh, good question, Phil. I mean, definitely two different schools of thought there. But I would say no, not particularly. You want to, obviously, as a referee, not be the center of attention if you can. You have to be ready to make a big, courageous call, even if it's not popular. And I think most important with our game is that the time penalties have to be 100% accurate at this point.
And if you disagree with any calls out there, be sure to check out Under Review. We'll have an episode for every round of the playoffs. That's Ryan Cigich, the head of officials for the MASL. I'm Phil Lavanco. We'll see you in the playoffs for a new episode of Under Review.